Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our channel. We're going straight down to Ebonyi State. We're having news coming all the way from Ebonyi State, and it's quite disheartening. The information reaching us from Ebonyi is worrisome, and it's something that we should actually add very quickly before it gets out of hand. In fact, it's already out of hand. I just hope that the Ebonians will rise up to the occasion, and whatever is need to be done for it to be brought into barest minimum should be employed immediately, or else we're actually looking at northeast, northern region similarity coming into Ebonyi, God forbid. But before we go into the news proper to find out what it is that is latest and is really worrisome, we'd like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. So barely 48 hours ago, a very sad news emanated from Ebonyi State, where gunmen as of Thursday, which is just yesterday, invaded Oshiago Amiangbo in Umogudu Akpongbo community in Ohaugu local government area of Ebonyi State and adopted their village head. Nsobu. This is coming barely 2 days after suspected herdsmen attacked 4 communities in Ishielo and killed many innocent persons. It was gathered that the village head, that's Deacon John Ulebe Naji of Umbu, was abducted alongside 4 other persons while many sustained injuries. It was further also learned that the abductors came into the village in their numbers wearing army uniforms. They were actually impersonating the army. That made the residents of the area relax, thinking that they were soldiers on a peace mission in Efium. Now, wow, this is really sad. Well, a source from the area, Mr. Amia Amos Otobo, who witnessed the attack, said, "We were relaxing at the village square when the gunmen stormed the village square in army uniforms. Each bike carried 3 persons. We were relaxed when we saw them, thinking that they were military men on special duty because of the crisis in Ifium community in Ohaugu local government area of Ebonyi State. The incident that happened in my village today was terrible. Our village head was kidnapped by the men who came with different motorbikes into the village. When we saw them coming, my friend sitting next to me said their movement was strange to him and told me that he was no longer comfortable, that he wanted to go home. But I told him to stay back, that nothing will happen. Not quite long after that, we started hearing people screaming on top of their voice, running from one place to another, also calling their children to go and hide in a safe place. I and my friend had to take cover. They had to take cover too because the village had been thrown into confusion. They continued to shoot for about 45 minutes to 1 hour before they abducted our village head and 4 other persons. They would have abducted more, but because of the way people were screaming on top of their voice, they decided to leave with the persons they abducted. We are living our lives in fear and tension because nobody knows what will happen by tomorrow or when next they will come back. When contacted, the Commissioner of Police in Ebonyi State, CP Aliyu Gaba, through a text message replied, "Too bad, noted for further action." Hey, this is bad news. Oh. Yes, the governor of Ebonyi State, that got Chief Engineer David Umahi, is that it's not resting. But the question is, we made mention of forming vigilante groups, youth should gather and protect themselves and all that. It makes a lot of sense. But with what? When every other person, every other region was creating the regional security outfit, the southeastern region were taking their time to look at logistics. Then Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from diaspora, I don't know exactly where he is right now, decided to form ESN, Eastern Security Network, with the whole aim of protecting or guarding this old eastern region, not just the southeast. It actually is extended to all old eastern region. Started producing it branch by branch, section, region, branch by branch, giving them names, special names, so that they will know where they are located per time. A lot of the governors said they are illegal and they were not backed up by law. And they, like for Imo State governor, he called them militias and ensure that the federal might is squashes them, especially in Imo State. Okay, fine, they have done that. Who is now protecting the land? Look at how they easily came into Ebonyi State. There are no militia, there are no vigilante holding them. If let's assume there was some sort of security hold on ground in Ebonyi as we speak, as soon as those bike men entered with impersonating army, they're not even original army, impersonating army. At least those vigilantes would have stopped them and searched them. Sorry, please, your ID card. All right, can you identify yourself, please? At the point of trying to bring out their identity card, if they were impersonated, if they are fake soldiers, they would have decided to run or take to their heels. But they entered freely, and the people were relaxed. For how long will this continue? You can imagine they came in, picked the village head. They came prepared, and if they have come to pick the village head, that means they either have gotten comfortable, they know the terrain of the village, they know who the village head is, and they know who to go and meet, which means they've understudied that community for a while and they know what is what, when the best time to strike, and all of that. Now the question is this how it's going to play out? Is it how gradually Ebonyi State is looking like the northern region? Is that how they keep condemning in strong terms and nothing is on ground to protect the people? Has it come to this level where Southeast is gradually becoming under siege? What is on ground to protect the people? Will they keep running away from their homes? After a while, when kidnapping and abduction becomes a regular norm in that particular community, it will start extending to other communities and other states in Southeast. And before you say who goes there, we are looking at IDP camps in Southeast. You become a stranger in your own home. You run away from your land because of insecurity for another to take. This is not the time to condemn in strong terms. What are practical approaches to protect the people? As the Chief Security Officer of your state and the President of the Southeastern Governors Forum, there should be ready things on ground to curb this. If they were vigilantes already sprung, look at what is happening in the Southwest. They already have plenty security networks on ground. In fact, some of their names I can't remember them. The Egbekoyas, the OPC, the Amotekun, the Sunday Bo and his people. There are more, and more are still coming in. People are security conscious. This is really sad. Talk is cheap. What are the things on ground to curb this? And this is the height when they begin to impersonate the security personnel. Then there's a problem. We have a situation in our hands. That's what we're going to wrap it up. What's a take on the fact that the latest one now is that they've adopted a village head in his own hometown, his own community. This is really sad. Let's meet in the comment section. Let's interact. ESN was created, but right now there's nobody.